House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy because, Mr. Leader, all the action could be on the floor of your House looking straight ahead. And by the way, I want to thank you so much for your generosity of time to come back today and give us your update.
Well, I'm glad to be back because it changes minute by minute. They have a new bill with a new tax every couple minutes here. But remember, the damage is still there of what they're wanting to do. Do not view this as two separate bills. It is one bill, and do not view it as a bill that's less than $2 trillion, because what they're doing is they're playing shell games. It is still the programs that are in there. They're dialing them back. It's still going to cost you $5 trillion. And the biggest revenue raiser to pay for this bill is to spy on Americans. It is to make sure they go after, they add 87,000 IRS agents. That's bigger than the population of Scranton, Pennsylvania, the president's hometown, simply to look at people if they've had $10,000 in the last year. That means if you spend $28 today, you meet that criteria.
That's the $400 billion. I'm looking at one of the scorecards here. Yeah, you're right. It's absolutely, out of the $2 trillion they've identified in higher taxes, IRS, they call it IRS investments to close the tax gap, which is utter nonsense. Kevin, let me just ask you a couple things. As I saw it, President Biden goes up to the Hill, speaks to the Democratic caucus this morning, says, please pass the infrastructure bill and pass the human infrastructure bill, whatever, Build Back Better. I'm going to the climate conference in Glasgow, and I need to show the world that we get things done. And so now we're meeting. It's 4 p.m. this afternoon, and there's no votes on anything. So is that, do I have that story right? Nothing has happened.
You have that story right. This is going to be like the old cartoon Charlie Brown. President Biden's Charlie Brown. Nancy Pelosi is Lucy holding the football. He's going to run up one more time like he did last time when he came to Capitol Hill. She's going to pull the ball out from under him. He's going to fall flat on his face on his back. And what he thought was going to be some hope, they're sitting outside for the foreign countries, is going to show that, no, the Democrats cannot run America. That's why gasoline's price is high. That's why our borders are open, but now they want to give 10 million people amnesty. They really are pushing today because they're worried about the governor's race in Virginia. That's what this is all about, and they're going to fail again.
So I know you regard them as one package together. But people were talking today, Pelosi and others, about an infrastructure vote, I guess trying to whip up progressive leftist people to vote for it. Is there going to be an infrastructure vote?
I don't think they'll get an infrastructure vote because what the president and the speaker have said always before, you got to view them together. Now they change course and say, well, let's vote on infrastructure, and they put some framework they call, and it changes by the hour, of what they put on the second bill. And they think the progressives, after looking at the framework, would vote for the infrastructure bill. That's not going to be the case here. Too many taxes, too much damage for this country, and how do you put a couple $1 trillion in a 2,500-page bill and drop it today and ask people to vote tonight?
Yeah, well, that's a good point. So you think an infrastructure vote, not to Build Back Better, but you think an infrastructure vote would fail?
It will fail.
That's all right. That's very important. Thank you for that.
They've been listening to your show. They want to save America. They want to kill the bill.
Would that were true, but thank you for saying it, sir. We appreciate it very much. I know that Sinema and Manchin, or Sinema particularly, Senator Sinema, whittled down tax hikes, got rid of the corporate tax hike, the capital gains tax hike, and the individual personal taxes. But, Kevin, as undoubtedly you know, they've got a 15% minimum tax on corporations. They're taking the 20% deduction away from small businesses. They're trying, or it's been discussed, or Senator Wyden still believes he can get his retroactive, confiscate all my wealth tax on unrealized capital gains. And they've got minimum taxes at 15% at home and abroad. So actually, when it's all said and done, this is a pretty high tax and therefore recovery killing bill.
Oh, yeah, and you understand this more than others. At the end of the day, this bill will make China more competitive than America. And the other thing that people don't quite realize, which you understood when you worked down at the White House, also the regulations. And think of all those regulations they're bringing back that also harm businesses. They go after the manufacturers in America. So all those businesses that we brought back to America by making America competitive, the forces of this bill will push you to go to other countries, which is a disadvantage to American workers. When we're sitting and looking at those ships out in California trying to come in, what we really should look at in supply chain is those ships shouldn't be coming into America. They should be being filled with American products being shipped to other countries. But with this bill, it will make it a complete opposite.
Kevin, I'm interested. I tried to work my way through this framework, and I understand it's now a legislative text, 2,500 pages and so forth. Is amnesty in this bill?
Yes.
And is welfare for illegal immigrants still in this bill?
Yeah, they still give amnesty for 10 million illegals. And what they do is they take away requirements like the work requirement or the child credit where you don't have to have Social Security. So what that means is if your child is not an American, the American taxpayer will give you that hard-earned money paying you back. They also take away the work requirement. And we've talked about this a lot. Those are the type of things that do a tremendous amount of damage, especially for small businesses, but for the work ethic in America.
You know, I thought the Senate parliamentarian said to take out amnesty and other issues related to immigration. I thought that's what she said. So now it's reappearing like magic.
But remember, we're talking about the House.
Yeah.
So the vote in the House is different. The bill they just produced, even though they've heard that from the parliamentarian, inside that the Rules Committee is looking at today, provides money to give amnesty for 10 million.
And another point I want to ask you about, how many gimmicks are in here? Because I look down the scorecard of spending on the spending side, and I think I'm seeing, you know, 3-year timelines or 5-year timelines. I know I'm not seeing 10-year timelines because the child tax credit itself is $1 trillion over 10 years, and it's nowhere near here. So the gimmicks are proliferating.
You're correct. And for your viewers, what it means when you score something, what does it cost? And when you're talking about reconciliation, it should be a 10-year that you pay for it. And that's why when you looked at it prior, it was over $5 trillion. All they have done here, instead of paying for something for 10 years or 7 years, they go 2 years. They want to put it into government. Remember what your old boss, Ronald Reagan, said, the closest you ever come to eternal life is a government program. So what they're doing is creating programs but not paying for them. And that's the gimmicks that they continue to go around with.
Talk about economic growth from this. If this thing passes with degree of spending, which is linked to the inflation problem, and the high taxes, which will stop people from working. There's no incentive. There's no work incentive. There's no investment incentive. It's just tax the rich kind of stuff, punish success kind of stuff. And also, Kevin, they're still fighting for the Green New Deal, despite what Manchin tried to pull out of here. There's still massive subsidies for renewable fuels and electric cars and so forth and so on. So, you know, what do you think this is going to do to the economy?
Well, it's going to do exactly what they have been doing to the economy, giving us a higher gas price we've had in modern history, at least 7 years. Then what you find here, the greater regulations, the punishment when it comes to the royalties and the critical minerals to ever make us energy independent. But it's going to, hyperinflation is coming if this bill passes. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They have created this inflation already, and they want to go further. And then the idea that how they're going to pay for it with these IRS agents, going after Americans, they're going to stymie any capital from investments. And then their tax provisions are going to make corporations decide not to make those investments that, remember, after our tax bill, what happened? People were getting bonuses. Companies were coming back to America. People were making investments. Those investments are going to stop, and they're not going to explore as much as they had before. This is the real problem of what we're seeing, just more of whatever. You saw the numbers come back today, the slowest growth that we've had during recent time period. This is only going to stymie it and make it go the other direction.
Yeah, with a big quarterly inflation number as well. Well, Kevin McCarthy, Napoleon once said, I wasn't there, so I got to write this down. Never interfere with an enemy while he's in the process of destroying himself. And that's just what the Democrats look like to me. And I'm stunned that they can't, after Biden going up to the Hill and all that brouhaha, they're not even voting on anything. And I think that's pretty amazing. But then again, that makes me happy. That makes me very happy. Kevin McCarthy, you are terrific to help us out today after all that's going on. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Larry.
All right.